Everybody, Stephen Helhammer here. Just a little quick update before we start the podcast. We've got a massive gig coming up on the 2nd of December at Jackrabbit Slim's. I'd love you all to be there. It is our first ever solo performance of my original songs, and I've put together an amazing backing band consisting of Ryan, Stuart and Brian. And it's going to be backed up by 6 of my favorite singers in Perth. A lot of them have been a part of the Perth United project as well. So don't miss it. We also have Voodoo People, which is the Prodigy tribute act. We'll be performing a 90-minute set straight after, and it'll be insane! So don't miss it. Come down, Jackrabbit Slim's, 2nd of December. Now let's go and listen to what the boys from Colourmind have to say. Yeah!
You guys got a lot of stuff happening at the moment too. Last time I saw you guys, you were all dressed up in Halloween costumes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I was Jason.
Yeah. I thought you were Jimmy.
Jimmy Voorhees.
Yeah. No, it was good fun. I just wanted it to be like an old school zombie punk sort of thing, you know, and my missus helped me with the makeup because I had no idea what I was doing.
Nah, it looked good, man.
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
was great
cool.
to see everybody really at that gig was all dressed up and stuff.
Yeah. And we had a best prize, wasn't it? And it was actually your missus that won it.
Yeah, and like Adam wanted me to judge it.
Yeah.
But like I didn't want to judge it and be like biased.
Yeah.
But then she won anyway.
Yeah, they'll say it's rigged.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even think she spent the bar card that night either.
Yeah, like we got like 2 beers with it.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that's pretty much the price of 2 beers these days anyway. It's $50, isn't it? You know?
Oh, really? Is that how much they're worth, man?
Oh, man. Like, some places are crazy. I won't badmouth any venues, but, you know, when you're paying, what, $12.50 for a pint, you know, like, where's the change?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, do I at least get a 10-cent can that I can refund afterwards? No.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, tell me a bit about it. So obviously you guys, you're super busy at the moment. You've got a lot of gigs lined up, and more excitingly, you're in the studio. I'd love to hear a bit more about all of that and how that's going.
This legend just finished tracking drums.
Yeah, good, man.
It was a big weekend for me. Well, the last weekend would just spend all day recording drums for the 5 songs that we had. And I'm surprised it went better than I thought, to be honest, because I thought there was going to be a lot of screw-ups and, you know, re-recording, you know, over 5 million times and such. But, like, you know, I was very confident. I try not to seem too overconfident, but it went really well.
Yeah, good, man.
So I was very happy with it, with the whole outcome of it.
And you're recording up with Mr. Oracle?
Yeah,
Mr. Huxtable?
Jay Huxtable.
Yeah.
Oracle Studio. It's been good fun. There's been a couple of drinks here or there, you know, and just
bit of sleepovers?
boys being boys, yeah. me sleeping on the couch.
Sleepovers between you and Tristan.
Yeah, that's a bit of a story in itself.
Yeah.
Well, do please elaborate then.
I don't know what TV show we fell asleep watching, but
You have to fill me in. I went home.
Yeah. Okay, so after Matty had finished up his drums, we're thinking, oh yeah, we'll probably call it a night. And then Jay says, all right, let's do bass.
yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll smash it out. So Colourmind says, oh yeah, we're going to be a bit late.
Yeah.
I think we got about 2 songs in. It was midnight. We're all hammered drunk by that stage. I was like, all right, none of us can get home. And we ended up all sleeping on the couch, and I got up at 10 the next morning, a bit hungover. I was like, all right, now I'm going to do my tracks.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to re-record the tracks I did last night.
Actually, believe it or not, there wasn't that much to fix. I was impressed with myself. I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll take that.
It's rock
Sounded
and
good,
roll.
by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming along really well.
Yeah, good, man. Well, the
and-
first 2 songs sounded incredible, man.
Yeah. We're pretty happy with it, eh? Jimbo? Yeah, Tris? Matt?
No.
No. Redo it all.
Redo it all. Just take it down.
Because,
re-record it.
you know, like I always had the riff and stuff from Sweet Surrender tucked away in my back pocket, you know, for a rainy day when I got the right band, you know, band of brothers. And, you know, after Sweet Surrender, you know, or after Jimmy came in, he pitched his song to us, and like, it was just a scratch track. It was a demo done at home. And I said, I don't want to swear, but it was really good. Yeah, and well, I said, Jimmy, this is sick. This is going to be our next single. So now, like, we've had one song from me, and we've had one song from Jimmy. So now the EP, it's all of us, putting our heads together, and it's different. It is different, but in a good way, different. So
very cool.
We're pushing our influences, we all love our metal as well. So there's going to be some little touches here.
So are you going to be doing like the Beatles, and whoever writes the song has to sing it, or
Why not?
Matt, you're up.
Drummer that sings, oh boy.
Still needs more cowbell.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually a thing you don't see very often. I can't name any band where the drummer is actually a lead singer. I know there is a few, but it's certainly none I can sort of mention from the top of my head. Yeah, Genesis. Yeah, but he's a singer and he just plays the drums in the studio. I think when they play it live, he plays in between sort of like instrumental bits and what.
I think there's an Australian two-piece called Blood Red Shoes.
Right.
Where the drummer is a singer and the chick is on guitar. You got to look her up. Blood Red Shoes, and there's my old band got me onto these guys as well. A song called Light It Up. Fantastic. Really good.
I just thought of one band, the only band actually, I don't know why I didn't think of them straight away, because they're epic. A band called Cairo Knife Fight. That's a New Zealand band. They supported Carnival.
Someone introduced that band to me recently.
They're phenomenal. It's a duo. So it's just it's a guitarist.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a guitarist.
Yes.
So the guy who's playing guitar in the band now used to be the session guitarist for Black Eyed Peas.
I'm pretty sure it was Jay Huxtable actually that introduced that. Like he said, you got to watch this, and he starts slaying the drums, and then he puts it on repeat or something. Then
he's got like a loop station as well. And plays like a little keyboard, like a synth bass loop, and puts that on, and like a loop pedal. Like plays a drum and loops that, and then he starts playing on top of that, and he starts singing.
And it's really
like
good.
Playing all the guitar right. He's doing like one-handed drums. It's like it's nuts, man.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So this is what we've got to do to sell music these days.
Well, again, those guys are pulling it off, but that again must be a tech nightmare with all the like pedals and bits and pieces. But
I used to be all about all the pedals and stuff, and now I just want simplicity on stage. I just want my tuner, my distortion, maybe a bit of delay.
Yeah.
Even that's too many pedals for me. I've got 2 feet. I don't need any more than that. But
that's again also a rarity against guitarists, man. I think the more and more guitarists I meet, they have like a bigger pedal board. Some has 2.
Yeah,
it's like
I think as a guitarist, you either go one of 2 ways. You're either all about like the tech behind it, or you're about the guitar itself, And like I'm all about like the amp and the guitar, not so much about the pedal,
But what is again like? Obviously, this is me, just being the stupid non-musician, the drummer, who doesn't understand all that
drum talk,
but
guitar talk. Here we go.
But when you really delve into all this, like, is there any right or wrong, really? You know what I mean? Because sometimes, like, you see these bands that all they do is they literally plug into the amp and they got like a distortion on and off button, and that's about it.
I think the most important thing would be having a noise gate as well, because if you're at like a really loud gig, the last thing you want is feedback, unless you're actually putting that into your songs,
Yeah.
Unless you're, pulling out a Line 6 Spider amp or something.
Which we've seen.
There's nothing wrong with that, because that's your sound, Like everyone's got their unique sound. Those things put out a lot of feedback.
I'm a drummer and I know exactly what those amps are, and I've used one before when I play guitar just for fun. It's like, oh yeah, this is
good
interesting.
It's really good in the bedroom.
Well, there's a lot of things good in the bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I'm going to chuck the aircon on. Is that all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
Doing it during podcast, so unprofessional.
Hey.
Flipping guitarist, man. Oh, man. It's okay.
But yeah, I'd love to go back to the whole studio recording and sort of everything you're doing at the moment. So obviously you've done the drums, you've done the bass.
Yes.
And so next I'm obviously going to get some guitar and some vocals done. When is this coming out, and what's the plans?
I just wanted to add that I've done like all my guitar parts and also some vocals
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So we're almost
tracking.
there.
We're tracking. Yeah, I was quite surprised Jimmy got 2 songs done with vocals. Because I thought we were just going to save it for this weekend. Jay was like, "No, you got it in you. Come on, let's get something done." So yeah.
And I also did like verses for 2 other songs as well.
Oh really? Don't say which
I won't
ones.
say
no.
which ones, but
Well,
like,
I actually thought maybe tonight might actually be a good chance to actually name some of the songs, or if not all of the songs, you know. Yeah, like it's up to you guys. What would you like to do? You know?
I'm all down. Well, I think we should tell it.
Yeah, drop some nuggets.
Drop some
Drop some nuggets.
nuggets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we haven't decided on the order of the songs, so these are just going to be the song names. One that stands out for me is a song called "Perfecting Failure." Another one that I've had in my back pocket for over a decade. You know, it's all about corruption and greed, and you know some things that you might say is wrong with society today, you know, and that's actually heading towards our more heavier side, if we have one, you know.
there's also a mental health kind of element to it as well,
Yeah. Well, you know, it's
like theme.
what's wrong with the world today, you know, like.
What's right with the world today?
Yeah, very good question. Oh, so that's
man.
one song. I'll let the other guys share stuff about the other songs.
I'd say, just a current personal favorite of mine, "Fight for My Life."
Yeah.
Because it's just for one, we typically start out a show with that song because it gets everyone pumping, it gets everyone jumping. I love how we've, reorganized the song. Won't go into too much detail, but I love how we've done it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's added a lot of cool dynamics to the song, you know. And I just believe it's just, we're really fighting for so many things.
Yeah, like,
know.
you take it away, Jimmy. I don't want to give away too much.
So Matt was talking about "Fight for My Life," and then so that's the song we've already played live and all that. People know it. We've also got "Wish It Was," which we played live.
Yeah, I think we've played that once or twice.
Yeah.
Because we've been ironing out the creases with "Fight for My Life" and "Wish It Was," but now that we've actually gone in the studio and we've given it like some real thoughts, like this part isn't necessary, or this part needs a bit more oomph, you know, and this solo could be times 10, you know, like let's give it that power. So,
And I played 2 solos on that song, so that's probably my favorite.
yeah.
Yeah, and I've always said a song isn't finished till we hit the studio because Jay's like our 5th member.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's given a lot of input for the songs as well. And, you know, we'll be putting him down as a songwriter for all of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very personal.
Good stuff, man.
So what other songs are on there? So we've said "Perfecting Failure," "Fight for My Life," "Wish It Was." We got 2 more on there. Well, 2.5 actually, but the half of one, we won't get into it. Okay?
So what's the half? Is that it's not finished yet, or
No,
or it's just very short? It's like
because we want people to immerse themselves in this EP. It's a mini album, so like we didn't want to just chuck random songs in there. We actually want people to feel something from this, you know, like so it is a bit of an instrumental intro to the album.
Gotcha.
And so again, I'm not going to say what songs are in order or anything like that, but it's got something to do with one of the songs. And so it'll go into the next song, you know. So, yeah, it'll be our walk-on thing when we're on stage, you know.
Nice.
I think it's pretty cool.
And that's why we sat down and we really discussed, or we really thought about what should go on this. And we did take the time to really think about and discuss, okay, what's good enough for this EP? Like, that's why when Jonni said, we weren't just chucking random songs here and there and we just thought, this is going to be good. We'll chuck this in there. Yeah. We really took the time to think about what would be really good for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
And I think we made the right call with the songs.
But so when can we expect to hear some of these songs? Or I'm guessing there's probably a single coming first, or...
Well, how long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many angels can dance on the head of a match?
Oh,
Exactly 3.
oh, that's deep.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
So there's nothing sort of set in stone yet. You're just gonna wait.
Yet,
And
not yet. We're really excited to release a song from.
Yep.
We are going to drip feed it. Obviously, we're not just going to
Yeah.
put the whole thing out at once and let people decide what their favorite song is. We want people to immerse themselves in it and be like, oh, you know what, I really like this one, or oh, you know what, you're going for something different here. Like, so I want them to listen to it again and compare it to our other stuff and make their mind up about it. Because, or we will release it all, maybe at like, I don't know, the 4th song release or something, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of like going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll be like 1, 2, 3. All right, you've waited long enough. Here you go.
Yeah,
Here's
okay.
the other 2 sort of thing.
yeah,
I've been told off by Jay many times, never book a gig until it is finished. Don't give a release date until it is finished. So thank you, Jay. I listen to what you say. We're hoping, though, maybe something before Christmas.
oh wow.
Something. Maybe. Maybe. Don't quote me on that. How do you guys feel about that?
6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 6 weeks away.
It'll be the must-buy item for everyone's stocking for sure.
Yeah. Well, you might be able to download it from Bandcamp. So
Chucking a little Christmas cover, a little.
yeah, a bit of Mariah Carey.
I was just about to say that. I didn't want to. But, you know.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Hey, never heard of him. So
Far out.
Well, I hear Michael Bublé just cancelled his tour for Australia, and people are going nuts.
oh,
Yeah,
man.
Must
legit.
have missed the memo
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally didn't see that either, man.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
my fiance's mother loves Michael Bublé, so and you know what, we've all got, you know,
We all got a
our
cross to
things.
bear, man.
Yeah,
We all
we've
have
got
our
things.
vices.
We all have our demons. So-
Sharon, if you are listening, I'm not going to say anything bad about your Michael Bublé. It's all right.
Let's go the
you know.
Beatles. Why not? I mean, my partner's mum loves the Beatles, so why just go for that approach too?
Yeah.
Just do it.
So talking about random bands, like where do you usually get your inspiration from? Obviously, I think you mentioned you were going over to some more like metal, heavier type of songs. Because obviously the first 2 you released have been more sort of that pop punk
Yeah.
genre.
So you could definitely hear a lot of our, like, you know, our Blink-182 stuff and Green Day stuff. You know, like we all love Blink, we all love Green Day. I mean, show me someone that doesn't, and you know what, that's fine. They've probably got like a master's degree in music somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, so now it's like, all right, we've shown our interest for those bands, so let's show our interest for other bands as well. And like, you know, I love Deftones, and we all love the Foo Fighters. Like, for me, one of our songs sounds like a cross hybrid of those 2 bands there.
Deftones and Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Like, that's what I hear. Someone might turn to me and say, "You are completely wrong and so far from the mark. It's not funny."
But that's the beautiful thing about music,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like different ears hears, you know, different stuff.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
okay, I can really hear some strong influence for this band. I said, I don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, but that's great.
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
glad you can hear something that I can't in it.
Like that's for one of the songs, and I suppose like we're trying to keep that sound, that same sound throughout the whole EP, but like we've got that punk sound, but we're also trying to push the metal sound through as well. So we've gone detuned the guitar down, you know, in drop C sharp. So yeah, so it's not just standard now or E flat. You know, we've detuned and gone that extra semitone down, you know, to really give it some crunch. Tristan loves it. Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, didn't we count out something like 9 potential genres that we're all playing with in these songs?
I can't even count to 9, man, so I wouldn't know.
I can't count past 3.
I haven't got that many fingers. So.
You guys are drummers. Yeah, you can count to 4 on repeat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. But
Not necessarily in time, but we can count to 4.
Anything past, don't go there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what do you guys hear when you hear our EP? Like, because we've got the demo tracks that Jay sent us, like our guide tracks.
Rise Against.
Oh, yeah, for Fight for My Life. Yeah, that definitely came out when I first started writing the guitars. But But then like Jimmy started adding like the lyrics and the vocals to it. I was like, yeah, I'm getting big Rise Against vibes here. So big mashup of like, or I wouldn't say our favourite band, but like our second and third favourite band sort of thing. You know, 'cause my favourite band of all time is Metallica. You know,
Oh, wow.
hands down. You know, what would yours be, Jim?
Architects.
Architects. You know, so like we're worlds apart. You know, at the moment, maybe in the future we might be able to kind of squish that together.
What about you guys? What's your favorite bands? If there's
It's
plural.
too many to count. I'll have to think about it. Let Maddie answer this one.
I mean, kind of the same players. There's too many to count, but just to put it simple, Blink, Green Day, Sum 41. You know, but I'm a bit of everything guy because I didn't necessarily grow up on this stuff. I was more into pop, you know, growing up. But you know, when I started hitting high school, that's when I started to discover bands like Blink and Green Day and My Chemical Romance and Rise Against and Offspring, those types of bands.
Yeah.
And but as far as demos, like hearing our demos wise, you know, you might disagree, but that's okay. But I was kind of getting Skillet vibes from hearing some of the songs, not all of them, but some, because like it's the heaviness in it. Because like Skillet are pretty heavy, but like not as, you know, we're not as heavy as they are. But I was kind of getting that vibe somehow. I don't know how.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
If you really take the time to hear some of Skillet's stuff, you might go, yeah, maybe not, which is totally fair because, like I said, they are heavier than us. But you know, for some reason, my brain just clicked and just thought Skillet for some reason. But you know, because I wouldn't obviously go right off the bat and saying Green Day and Blink. It's not really that. You know, because like Johnny said, we've already shown off that kind of side, so now we're showing more onto the metal kind of side of things in a way.
Yeah, it's hard to paint
You know.
this picture of like what the EP might sound like in time, but yeah, it's easier to say like what our favourite bands are.
Yeah.
That has helped create this, you know. But like not necessarily, this one song sounds like these bands, this one song sounds like these bands sort of thing. But it's more like, you know, or what was I listening to when I started writing this song? And yeah, like it was a lot of Deftones, Rise Against, Foo Fighters, and a lot of your Foo Fighters covers as well.
Oh,
You know,
cool.
yeah, I've been paying attention. So, but
Wicked,
then yeah. Also a lot of local Perth bands as well. You know, and like, oh man, there's heaps. We've got some wicked bands here in Perth, you know. And
Oh, we could do probably a couple of days of just talking about about the local scene.
absolutely.
where do you start?
yeah.
Like our mates over at the Immolation scene. I've fallen in love with a few of their songs, man. A couple of their songs are politically incorrect, so
Without a doubt.
yeah, you got to look them up on Spotify.
Yeah, I've
The
seen.
Immolation
I've seen the name pop up
Yeah.
quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
I think they played a couple of shows with you guys as well.
Yeah. And because I met Alex Hand out the front of a nightclub. I can't even remember where it was. It was up north somewhere, and I was wasted. I was just trying to get into this nightclub, and I turned around. I was like, "You look like Billy Joe Armstrong. Has anyone told you that?" And he goes, "No." Are you a musician? Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. We've been mates since, you know.
One question changes it all.
That was the conversation. Like, he ended up getting into the nightclub. I tried to sneak in. It didn't work. So I ended up just going home. And I was trashed, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, then a few
And
weeks.
that was the start of a lifelong friendship.
Yeah. Legit, yeah.
Yeah.
Then a few weeks later, we did the single launch for Sweet Surrender, and we had the Immolation scene support us, and it's been sick. I love their music.
And I was on the fence as to whether I was going to scream that night. And then I heard them and I was like, I got to scream tonight.
yeah, to like
Get a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, it really lifts your game. Like when you see these awesome bands playing before you and you're supposed to be headlining, it's like, oh, okay, those guys were all awesome. Now I've got to bring it.
Yeah, because I think it was only like our second gig that we had ever played as Colourmind.
And my first gig playing guitar as well as
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah, so we were all nervous doing a single launch, you know, as you do. Like, we only had one previous gig before then, and that's when our old friend Adam Healy was still in the band. We were a 5-piece for one gig.
Right.
Shout out to Adam.
Yeah, because I remember that's around the time when you came in for the first Perth United.
Perth United, yeah, group number 2. Are we having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that really opened my eyes too.
Because that was when you like you still had Adam in the band or something, but it was in that transition where we had to go and do the first recording and all that.
Yeah, so like we were in a funny place then. Like we all wanted to do Colourmind. I don't even think Jimmy was on the radar then when I did Are We Having Fun?
I don't think so either. No.
You were telling me about it though when we met.
Yeah.
You were like, "Oh, I just did this Perth United, and man, you got to check it out."
Oh, well, maybe it was. I can't actually remember. There's been a lot of beers between then and now.
Naturally.
But yeah. So like we were in this funny place, and like Jimmy could obviously sing really well. You know, he sent back the demo with Sweet Surrender, and Adam really wanted to focus on his band Nylon Stroke, which we just supported them recently, and wow, oh my god, you know, like
awesome.
Just old school, in your face, like punk grunge, you know, like just that punch in the face, you know, like it's so good. So yeah, like and Adam and I, we had a chat, had a can of Jacks, and we're like, yeah, look, it's not working, that's fine, you can go your way and we'll go ours, and there was no bad blood at all. It was just really good mates, and we were able to do a smooth breakup, you know, like
that's good
if that's what
it's
you
good.
call.
I think, you know, just on the topic of that, when Adam exited from the band, he like without making it sound bad, like he genuinely did seem a lot more happy, like because he's doing his own thing with Nylon, and he felt it just seemed like he felt so much more comfortable because he was able to focus more on his thing, and we love the guy so much, and we have mad respect for him, and he's still a you know, he's still family to us, you know.
Like we've played 2 gigs with Nylon Stroke now, and we can't wait to play again with them. You know, like they grab the crowd and they shake them down. You know, and
shook him like a dog.
Yeah, it's like, do you know who we are? Good. Like, that is
like in your
Nylon
face.
Stroke. You know, and oh man.
He's just the kindest guy, man.
Yeah, he's like
so
the
lovely,
evil version of Jack Black, you know. Like,
Tenacious D over here, the Australian version.
I'd describe it as the Motorhead of Perth.
yeah.
I got a lot of Motorhead vibes from it as well.
His biggest influence is Lemmy, isn't it? On
Without
bass.
a doubt.
Yeah.
He's got the, I don't know if I should say this, but he's got the Motorhead distortion pedal, and it's like that tone is right in there with his Chickenbacker.
Chickenbacker.
When you hear him cover Vigilante, you'll know.
Oh, it's not really a Rickenbacker. But probably shouldn't say that either.
But you just did. But nah, it was. When I went down to that gig and I saw Nylon Stroke as well. I had no idea what to expect because I had never heard about him before. And
you were running in blind.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was expecting some rock music, and I totally got that. You know what I mean? But it was like how they were on stage, and I was talking to people, and we had the whole voice box and guitar and stuff. Yes, you don't see that anymore, man.
No,
I really don't.
It was there. It was awesome, man. And like took the shirt off and like the big gold chains and like the guitars and stuff. I loved it, man.
Just their whole niche alone is it's something different. You know, for Perth it is anyway. You know, it's just like 3 dudes in your face. You know, like.
But then again, hold that thought because this is something I really want to chat to everyone. I want to get on the podcast. I want to talk about this. So when you say Perth. There's so much talent in this town.
Yeah.
And we are the most isolated town in the world.
Yeah.
I say this to people all the time. I said, like, you're in the worst place in the world if you want to play original music. Without comparison. You could go to any place in the Middle East or in Asia and you'd be in a better spot. Because you got nowhere to play but Perth.
Yeah.
So, really, if you are Perth band without sort of labeling it as a Perth band because you could be from anywhere. But if you want to be something more than a Perth band, what should you do? Where should you go?
That's actually what we're discussing now. We are like trying to build some friendships with bands over East and South Australia and Northern Territory. And you know what, like the the price of plane tickets going up again. Price of fuel is going up, but as musicians, we're all used to eating noodles and baked beans, like, so we just got to do the hard yards and try and build some relationships with other bands over east and just go and do like a dirty gig on a weekend, whatever venue sort of thing. Maybe we could get the Cherry Bar in Melbourne. I don't know.
And we've even got a band in Wales who want to do gigging with us in
that's right.
2024 called Calling Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I met them on Facebook actually.
But then again, like you could argue and say, even if you're in Perth, you could 100% you could fly to Sydney, Melbourne, or Adelaide, or grab any other capital city in Australia. But then you're just in a bigger Perth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's it. Like if you're in Sydney, there's a couple of more clubs compared to Perth, but you're still in Sydney. I mean, I get it. You could drive to Melbourne. That's what 800-900 kilometers away. But you could also say, all right, I'm going to really put in the hard yards. I'm going to spend a good 6 to 12 months planning and making friendships with bands in Germany and
Europe.
France and Belgium and Holland or whatever. Because plane tickets are more, but once you get there.
Yep.
You could, like I've said this to a lot of bands, but like you could play 20 gigs in Germany and not play in the same town. You could play 30 or 40 gigs. You could play all the time.
Yeah.
And that's one country out of 20 odd.
And I think like as musicians, like because we're not on. I don't want to say we're not on that level, but like thinking of that level. It makes me think, oh wow!
But you got to start.
That's so beyond like what I've been thinking about. But you're right. You're absolutely right. It's so doable.
Like if you're a German band, if you're a German Colourmind, they're not on that level either. No, they're starting out. Have played 10 club gigs and a couple of shaky single launches for bands that are way better than them or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like everybody starts somewhere.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter where you are, but in Perth you only have the same 10, 15 venues and the same 20 bands you can play with.
Let's go play in Antarctica.
Didn't Metallica do that?
And again, the cool thing is, like Europe is so accessible.
Yep.
It's compared to the States, because that's your other big market. But Europe, like this, it's so easy to get to. There's so much culture. There's so many Australians also that have some kind of European passport they can dig into if they fill out some paperwork or whatever. So that also it gives you a lot of opportunities. There's all the summer festivals which everybody would love to go and play. You got literally a quarter of the year where you can go and really tap in to the summer festivals. June, July, August. Sometimes some of them run into September. And a lot of these festivals are actually wanting to get like overseas, like exotic bands, such as people from the States or Australia, or someone that's not from Germany or Belgium and stuff. But I think, and maybe this is just because that's where I grew up. That's where my grassroots were. That's where I did all my time in the trenches. So when you see that compared to the original scene here, because I've only. It's mind-boggling when I think about it. I've only really been a part of the original scene here for about 2 years.
How long have you been in Perth?
I've been here for about 12 years.
Yep.
But for the first 8 or 9, I didn't really feel like I've played a couple of cover gigs here and there, but I was just focusing on family and career and stuff.
Yeah.
There wasn't really until COVID when I started my podcast, and slowly through that started learning musicians, and slowly through that started collaborating with some of my own songs, and that turned into Perth United and all that stuff. But that sort of very, very quickly, I think after we did the first probably 30, 40 episodes of the podcast, where I could see this pattern, of all these Perth artists. It's like, damn, it is like they're all awesome, but they're all in that same bubble where there's nothing outside the bubble.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think we're treating it like one gig at a time sort of thing. We've got gigs on the horizon where it's still new for us because, we're still yet to play at like some of these venues or whatever. But yeah, like I think the strongest thing would be keeping like a big goal in mind as well as your little goals. So
for sure. Yeah. And again, because like you can't go straight to the big goal.
No, that's right.
So you need those. You need those.
You need the stepping stones. So like
sub goals or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Like we wanted to get a song on radio. That was the first goal, and
Yeah.
it was a very emotional time. And
Yeah.
we achieved it, and then all of a sudden we were getting played in America and Japan and Europe as well. So we've made a footprint. It's only a little footprint, a little baby footprint, but now that we've had a taste of it, we want to do it again and again, and maybe get something on TV or Rage. Like get a music video on Rage, get played on Triple J. So like then we get heard even broader. Within Australia, of course. But I'd love to play Europe. Like the thought of it, I've got heritage from Holland.
Well, that's
Yeah.
most people in Australia do, because everybody comes from Europe. You know
Funny
what I mean?
that.
Play Reading Festival, you'd be right.
Yeah.
But
Glastonbury, we'll just go there.
yeah, well, my dad was born in Holland, so I'd be able to get a dual citizen passport easy enough.
Well, the only reason why I'm saying, like, if you have that option is, again, because it does open up everything with regards to actually going over there and touring and making money, because then there's a lot of less paperwork needs to be filed and all that stuff, and visas and whatnot.
But as soon as they realize, you're a musician, you're not going to make much money, it's okay.
Just give us a free pass. And here's $20 just because we feel bad.
Here's some coupons for noodles.
You play for a cover band, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's again another thing. Like the cover scene in Perth seems to, at the moment, just seems to be like eradicating everything.
Tribute band, this tribute band, that.
Yeah, bloody tribute bands.
And no bad blood. They've taken the time out of their lives to
Learn
make
all
sure
the
these songs are mastered, nutted out, blah blah. This guy can't talk either.
No. I was about to say 100%.
But you've chosen a really cool band to cover though, because the atmosphere behind the Prodigy is bloody insane. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, look. I mean, I don't think. I mean, there's obviously a lot of bands I would love to do, like to play, because I love the music. Like pretty much everything for every 90s band, like anything that came out of the whole grunge era is what I grew up on. Yeah. So the Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, all of that stuff, Nirvana. But yeah, like if I were to do an actual band, like tribute band, Prodigy was just like, I cannot not do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that is so cool and so different again.
Yeah, exactly right. And it gives like the generation that's growing up now, like, all the younger ones.
It's the 90s too, you know what I mean? Like that is a 90s band, they're fed off the land, which again is
25 years,
25 year anniversary. Yeah, it's like I've heard that album so much. I should have paid so much money.
Brilliant album.
All the royalties.
Yeah,
but it's such a good album, man.
Yeah,
and
really good.
But the thing is, actually, just talking about Prodigy, all the albums that came after are so underrated. And it wasn't really until we start digging into it now, trying to sort of sift through them, because we wanted to sort of try and represent the whole career. Yep. And despite the last 2 or 3 albums really didn't have any sort of like breaking singles, they're probably, I think so some of the best albums. Yeah. So I could highly recommend people to go through them. Yeah. So some of them.
I'll have to go and dig through the old CDs.
Come to the concert and you can actually listen to them.
December 2nd.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
And where are you playing?
Oh, it sounds like interviewing me now.
Absolutely. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Slims.
Jack Rabbit Slims.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I've got to get you to plug it, man.
Yeah. No, it's it'll be awesome. So that'll be. But speaking of, that's actually only our 3rd gig as well.
So going back to like the European, getting bands over there and stuff. I've actually got questions for you. Like,
let's do it.
With the knowledge that you have today, all right, and you're in a young band, you've just released a couple of singles, funny enough. What would you do?
I would make 100% sure that I had everything covered at the back end before I did anything. So when I said back end, I mean within the boys, but before that, anything that comes behind that. So your partner and your family.
Yeah. Yep.
And everything like that. Yep. Because like I'm guessing, have all you guys, have any of you got any kids?
No.
I have one.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah. any of you are obviously married and have girlfriends and stuff like that, that's fine. But I said, but the second you start adding kids into the content, it can get a little bit more tricky because it can be difficult to also for you to actually want to leave them.
You've got a couple of little cherubs as well.
I've got too many. Yeah, I got 3. Yeah, but it's one of those things where if you can cover everything at the back end, or at least if you know that if shit hits the fan, music is higher priority than my partner. Yeah. I was like that back in the day. When I was back in the early 2000s when I was at doing my stuff back then. Like music was number one above everything else.
Yep. So
I would cancel a wedding if we got a gig. I would I would throw someone out the window if we could go. It was number one. So I said, so my advice would be to make sure that you know what your priorities is, both for yourself, but also for the people behind the scenes.
The ones close to you, the ones that actually support us with our music as well.
Yeah, and the ones that potentially will have your back when you need it. You know what I mean?
Cassie, I know you're listening. Yeah, don't worry, I know. We'll have a chat.
so that's the first thing, and then immediately, so that's 1A, and I said 1B. Would be to have a good open conversation between you and find out like how important is this? Is this a Saturday at the golf club where we go down and have fun and have a couple of beers, or do we want to be the next Tiger Woods?
Yep.
Because that's two completely different things. Both of them are okay, by the way. But if you wanna go and be the next, or if you wanna go and be the next Blink 182, and you're happy playing Badlands every second month, then it's not gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's another fundamental conversation to have. Once you can tick those two, the rest is easy.
Yeah.
No, we want to play every venue until we run out of venues, and then go play elsewhere.
Yeah, but at the same time, because we've discussed about venturing out just south, in the new year, and also like I said, going over east and stuff. But it'd be good to actually set up a bigger goal, like the bigger picture. Even if it is 12 months time or whatever. 12 months, 24 months.
UK in a couple of years, like 2024.
Yeah, something like that, or Belgium.
Japan.
I was about to say another thing that you could ask yourself is, has it been done before? What I mean by that is Blink 182 are coming back now, and they're going to play sold out stadium shows, right?
Cash grab.
Yeah, and
they're everywhere.
Yeah,
talk so much about that.
And you have like Green Day is the same thing, playing stadium shows and stuff. I know these guys have been around for a couple of decades and stuff, but there are still bands coming out today that break internationally in a matter of years, sometimes in a matter of months, really, where they literally come out and they have everything aligned behind them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it.
So,
how many West Australian bands have been discovered from here in Perth? That's where we should do our research and be like, okay, well, where did this band get discovered? Like, what venues were they playing at?
When an artist or a band comes out and just smashes records immediately, I'm always suspicious, how much money is behind them, sort of thing, whether they're an industry plant.
I mean that again is another thing. Like money helps.
Yeah.
Money helps regardless of what you're doing. Yeah.
Like if I had a $10 million marketing budget, we could be the biggest band in the world.
Oh, exactly right.
But you could also be you could also not be the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
Because again, money can get you so far. But there's so many stuff that needs to be ticked for you to make it, for you to get super big. Like I said, and it all starts with the fundamentals.
Yep.
So it starts again, with within the band, but also within the people behind you.
Yep.
So once you tick that, obviously you got good songs, you got good production, you got a good brand, you got a good look, you have a good online platform, and you're good guys. Don't forget that. Like
we're not.
actually being nice guys.
No, we're
It's,
not.
Yeah, we are, Johnny. Don't sell
No,
yourself
no.
short.
I'm sorry. I wasn't talking about you.
They are.
These three guys here and Johnny.
Yeah,
But it's
little Johnny.
But again, and because that's got nothing. Because if you do go out and play a lot, like, and you're an absolute asshole, you know, like
Absolute,
people don't
no.
want to play with you, and
that's
that
exactly
travels
right.
fast as well.
People like they like approaching musicians when they're packing up from their set or whatever, and that's why I say to the guys, once you finish your set, pack up your stuff, get the hell off the stage as fast as you can, then talk to all your friends and be humble.
Yeah,
You're tired and you want to go to sleep, that's fine, but at least thank everyone that has come to your show first. It does not take much time. Just be humble, be thankful, be great. Maybe support the next bands if you're not headlining, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they've sat around, they've watched you play what might be your worst set that you've ever played, and I'm embarrassed. Oh no, I don't want to talk to them. Fight yourself through it. Just do it. Watch the other bands. Thank everyone for coming. Be humble. Be approachable. Don't be an asshole. That is the golden rule.
The golden rule is exactly don't be an asshole, or if you can put it in another context, saying just be a nice guy, like just be kind. You know what I mean? Like don't do to others what you wouldn't want others to do to you. Like just just
exactly right.
treat people
Exactly.
kind and with respect.
Another thing too, if I may jump in here real quick, there's been a lot of well, it's happened for ages, but this actually happened at the last Green Day show that you and I went to, because you went there as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but there was one point I think where they were in the middle of Boulevard of Broken Dreams or something, and Billy Joe looks out to the crowd and he just sees two people just going at it, and amongst many other bands will do this too. Like they'll happily stop a show and they'll take time to sort it out. And if it gets sorted out, great. If it doesn't, they'll keep, fighting for it till.
Dave Grohl did this as well.
Yeah.
I think you'd know that, Steph. Like there were two people fighting
At
or
the
something.
yeah.
And,
Unless you're Travis Scott. He didn't
And,
stop the show.
Guns N' Roses did this too. I think it was in Scotland. I'm pretty sure they in the middle of their second song, "Welcome to the Jungle," they just started singing to people like just going at it, and then people start throwing bottles on stage, and then.
But I mean, like we're
you
not
know-
necessarily talking about like people fighting at gigs. Or
It's just
whatever.
like looking out for each other. It's just,
no. It's not even that. It's more just be as a musician, as a performer, like. You want to be humble, like not fake. You don't want to be fake. You want to be real.
Yeah.
But you want to be inviting and you want to be humble.
Sincere.
I'll tell you right now, if I met James Hetfield from Metallica, my favorite band in the whole world, if I met James Hetfield and he was an asshole to me, guess what? Nah, I don't want to know you. Nah, if you don't have the time to appreciate, which is their biggest fan, right? I know I've got like a billion other people fighting me for that status. If you want to speak to me like shit, like when I'm a fan, I do not want to listen to your music and I will boycott your music. And that's what I'm trying to say to everyone as well. It's like, you do not want to be an arsehole to anyone.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's the same like like you saw the backlash, when Will Smith went up and slapped Chris Rock, you know what I mean? And you had like the same thing, Mel Gibson had some controversy a couple of years ago and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, like their careers is just in a dump.
Yeah.
Like, just like that.
Yeah.
And it's just, because you're just being an idiot. You're being a
Like,
dickhead.
what is it that you're promoting? Like your music, your attitude, like it kind of goes hand in hand with each other. Like, we're not even on the front page of a magazine or anything, but we're getting some radio time. It wouldn't take long if we made like a stupid comment or whatever about someone. Like, it wouldn't take long for that fire to spread around. Like, no. These guys, no, I'm not listening to them. So you've always got to be humble and just
And the interesting,
love everyone.
Like, the interesting thing about it is obviously like the bigger you are, just the faster and the more
eyes that are on
exactly,
you as well. So you've got to be able to handle that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Elton John, like how many times did he snap with the media? Like, and I'm sure he's a really pleasant guy, but the media scrutinized him. Just because he had a camera in his face or whatever, like.
But can you imagine that? Could you because you hear all these people say, I want to be, I'd love to just be play music full time and have the paparazzi outside your door.
Yeah, it's a hard thing.
No, you don't.
Be careful what you wish
Because the
for.
thing is, if you actually get to that point, say you were Elton John or Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or something like that, I think that would almost be like uncomprehendable.
Scary.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's constantly someone with a camera.
And that's right. Like
You should all play in
it's so
Slipknot
easy,
before they actually took the masks off. That'd be easy. You can go grocery
it was
shopping.
so good before they took the masks off.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to say, I'd love the rock star life. You do this, do that, all this money. It's like, nah, like too big. I'd love to get to a status where we're renowned, but not too big.
Yeah.
But
You know what I mean?
But it's probably also different. It's say if you are in Blink-182 or Green Day, or say if you're in name any other rock band. Even I reckon even Coldplay, for instance, like the massive band. I don't know what any of the other guys looks like except for Chris Martin.
exactly.
Like
who?
Like
who does?
like, any of you guys could be the drummer in Coldplay, and I'd be like, cool.
Exactly,
Like I don't know what they look like. You know what I mean?
It's me.
right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's me.
He was in Game of Thrones, the drummer, in the wedding band.
Really?
Red wedding, yeah.
Didn't
The
even
drummer
know.
of Coldplay.
Yeah, he was in that scene and no one even recognized him.
What's Game of
course they
Thrones?
didn't, because no one knows what he looks like.
But yeah, just imagine going into your local shopping center and everybody there knows who you are, and you're just trying to buy like your groceries.
Yeah.
Like, how overwhelming would that be?
Yeah, I'm just getting my laxative tablets, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm just getting a refill of my Viagra, you know? out here, looking
what are
over
you
my
buying
shoulder.
today, pal?
It's my adult nappies.
Yeah, but
But thank you very much.
I've been saying for a while, there's so many things to being in a band. Like, it's more than just playing an instrument. There's all these things you got to know how to do. It all comes together.
It's also the hardest thing is like restraining yourself as well from acting like an idiot on social media. Like how many times have you read something that is just what the actual am I reading? This guy has lost the plot, like carrying on like a spaz, whatever, like, and he's
The celebrity just gets drunk and
and
they've
then
got a platform.
you just want to
But
put them in their place, but you can't because you're representing what we are. We're representing the band, the brand, like which technically is a business.
When you don't need to get very high up the ladder until you have to 100%
exactly
treat it
right.
as a business.
Exactly.
That's also why you don't see any bands making it big without a huge management team behind them.
Yes, exactly.
Because you simply cannot do it yourself.
That's right.
Like
Yeah.
it's as simple as that. No one gets big by themselves. No one.
That's right.
In any industry.
Yeah.
And that's also a very huge misconception. Everybody's like, I don't want to share the pie. I want to keep control. I said, no one wants. No one.
You just got to keep networking.
You got to keep networking, but you also eventually at some point you got to start delegating. Like you got to start just share some of the
palming off
workload.
responsibility.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that is tough. That is tough when you start to put or start relying on other people when you know that it's like I usually handle this side of things. It's like, okay, we're going to try things, and Matt, today you're in charge of this, this, and this.
But at the same time, it also it can't be a chore. It has to be something that either not necessarily comes natural to you, but something that you say, all right, cool, I can see someone needs to learn it. I think I would be the right guy for this. Whether it's learning to run Facebook ads or understanding. I think I'm gonna be good at outreach because I'm good at writing up good words in an email. Or I prefer to call people or whatever. Well, you're better at that. When you talk, like all of that stuff. But the thing is, if none of you are good at it, then you have to hire someone who is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
right. That's where you start branching out, reaching out.
Because you got to fill the gaps, and sometimes it can just be a VA. You pay Sanjit in Bangladesh, $5 an hour, and he'll do it. You know what I mean? But
calling on behalf of Telstra.
But hello, just a courtesy call.
How can we annoy you today?
But the thing is, someone has to do it.
So good.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah. But that's exactly right. And I actually look forward to getting to a state where it'll be like, you know what, like let's actually bring someone from the outside in to handle the social media side of something. It's like, that'll be one thing off our backs, like.
But it could also be, and that's again another important thing to sort of sit down and map through. I'm trying to do it for my own stuff at the moment, but it's so overwhelming, man. But like literally figure out like what is, as we said before, what is the long-term goal? Like what do you want to achieve, the next say 12 to 24 months?
I think you and I have so much in common, man. Like we both like have our vision of what we want, and we're prepared to do whatever it takes to get there. But as you were, like I can just see you and I, we could work together with something, man. So
we might have to, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's the same thing. Like, for example, I know obviously with my ancestry and my roots and stuff, like I know I'll be going back to Denmark, on a regular basis. Ideally in my perfect world, I want to go back every summer because shit weather here, or winter here, and summer in Europe. So June, July, August.
Well, hey, like when you find a venue over there, it's like, Colourmind would be great here. Hey boys, hey.
But but the thing is, and this is again where I said whether if that fundamental talk comes in place, because if that was something if that situation actually came up, would you jump on it?
With the right notice, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so there'd have to be notice in place.
But that notice could also be you're working towards something. So that could be saying, we want to aim for July 2024.
Because you also need time to
2023
to suss it out whether it's legit. Like
no, like for me, the biggest thing, like you can find out if something's legit or not. I mean, so what Steph's saying is like he's going to be going to Denmark every year. So.
Well, I'm going to be going over there because I want my kids. I want to have my kids over to visit the family and get some of the culture of the European culture and stuff. But at the same time, like how cool would it be while you're there anyway, and set up a couple a couple of gigs. So at least do some events. Like I said, for me, I mean, doing this solo stuff is just because I wanted to get my own songs out, and I wanted to have the control, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to understand that if I ever had that shot at doing something, I wouldn't have to be relying on people that didn't want it as much as I would. As I would. So for me, it's not important whether you play gigs or not. For me, the important thing and the stuff I love is creating.
Yeah.
So that is everything we did with Perth United. Even though I wasn't a part of it, I treated all those songs as if they were my little babies.
Yeah.
But they didn't get all the attention that they could have if they were a band. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Because sadly enough, a lot of the people that were involved in those songs didn't, almost put them back on the street after they were done.
Yeah.
And therefore it was, you had all these orphans. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now all of a sudden you have some original songs. Some are mine, some are yours, some are some of the other bands that are in it. You can say, oh well, I've got some of these guys. They're pretty serious.
May I ask who?
Well, yeah, there's a couple a guy I've been a big spokesman of. I love him to death. Is Dan Connell from Amberdown.
Hell yes.
Again,
we just caught up with those boys the other day at the studio.
Yeah.
We had a good
so
couple
again,
of
I mean, Dan is a prime example. I'm going to call it out. I've called it out before. I said I reckon he's
musician.
Not just the hardest working, but he's probably the most talented guy I've met.
Yeah.
Hands down in my life.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because the guy can play pretty much all instruments. He can sing so well.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. Yeah. He can record. He can produce. He's got a really good ear for songwriting. And then he's on top of that, he's really good looking. Like he is a rock star. He looks like a rock star. Yeah. And I just wish that he would just one day, Dan, fuck's sake, just do it, man.
Yeah.
Because Perth is not a place for that talent. I mean, I've said this many times before, and some people are probably going to be upset about it. But Perth is a great training ground, but it will never be anything more than that. Because you can play all the venues in Perth and you can play them over and over again with all your favorite bands, but that is the same as you going down on Saturday morning and you're trying to hit that par four.
But yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't remember if it was you or if it was Jay that said, right, you know, how many Perths are there in the world? You know, we're in an isolated city.
You are.
I think it was Jay actually, because we were talking about like pushing our music out, like, and marketing it properly, like. And he said, right, so you're in Perth, and you know you've pitched it in Perth pretty well, but how many other Perths are there? So you've got to target these other Perths, you know, so to speak. And the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, right, okay, we're not the only isolated city in the world. So let's.
No, but you are the most isolated city. So, but yeah, 100%. And like I said, another super important factor to put into this is the internet.
Yeah.
The internet is there, regardless of whether you are in in the most isolated and the least isolated capital city in the world. Like if you're in New York or LA or London or anything like that, like the only difference is just there's going to be way more people fighting for the attention. In the city, but online you have this kind of the same competitions. If you go into the same big Facebook groups, or you're fighting with the online radio stations or anything like that, because they're talking to bands from everywhere.
Yeah.
But the really interesting part about it, and something that again that I reckon Perth United was a really good proof of concept for that, is if you can go in and you can build an ecosystem, you can build a product, a system that can allow people from different countries, different cities to collaborate on songs, is something that, if that is packaged in the right format, is something that can be a super interesting attention point for the media.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm passionate about, is to try and go in and, like I said, Perth United was really interesting for me to test for the you know the creation format.
Are you going to take Perth United to Denmark maybe?
No, well, Perth is here, right? So
no, but like Denmark, I know.
So again, like when I did my when I released my first original song, what is that, a year and a half ago? I did that under the brand, you know, Stephen Helhammer and the Ambassadors of Rock.
Yeah.
Because really, I looked at everyone that I'm working with as an ambassador of rock, like someone who's in rock, again, regardless of the genre. It could be pop punk, it could be rock, it could be Metallica, but all of that falls under the rock banner, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So everyone you have there, you know, whether you are playing rap metal or whatever it is,
it's like an army.
Yeah, exactly. Or an army. It's like a big family, man. Like we're all like we are here because we want the same thing. We want to play some fucking awesome music.
That's
and
it.
and we want to rock, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like I said, the fun part was that I could get some of my songs, but I could get, you know, Jimmy to sing one, or I could get Dan to sing one. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be in a band with Jimmy. That just means we're going to be buddies and, you know, fist bump each other and hey, man, you know what I mean? Hey, we created something together.
Yep.
Or it could be, you know, I'm going to get Jonni to play guitar on one of my songs.
Yeah.
But it's my songs. I have the artistic creative control. Yeah. But we create something together that allows me to promote you, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So if you want to share, hey man, I was just a part of this crazy song with this, you know, tall Danish idiot over here, and and that way again we get
No. You were a part of this thing with this short Australian idiot.
Yeah. the little Dutch immigrant. But the really cool thing, and this is why Perth United was super interesting, is that you put 4 individuals, sometimes 5. So they're from 5 different bands.
Yeah.
The cool thing about it is everybody knew each other. They could be in the same room. Most of them knew of each other somehow. You know what I mean? But they could be in the same room, look each other in the eye, you know, like play guitar and, can you do X, Y, and Z and stuff. But the Ambassadors of Rock concept, how I've done all of my songs, most of them, I've been working 100% through the internet. So I've been working with this guy in Sweden, you know, who's been recording all the guitars and helped me produce and mold the songs. But I've been doing pretty much everything else with, you know, singers from, there's a singer, I've got a singer from the Philippines, I got 2 from Denmark, obviously a couple from Perth. I got one from Nashville. I'm gonna have another one from the States as well. So all of that again allows me to work, you know, irrespective of borders and countries and cities and all that stuff.
Well, that's it. The
and
internet
that's what I would love to do to answer your question about Perth United. That's what I would love and we have always seen Ambassadors of Rock go as a platform, something that allows people similar to Perth United. You plug into it,
Yep.
so you register. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this guy looks like he's, it looks like he's up to because you have to be a certain level. Let's be honest, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially when you're doing it
Up
remotely.
to scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just walk straight out of the bush. Oh,
Yeah.
I can play E minor. You know what I mean? Like, so it has to be something where you are at a certain level, and then you mix people up. And said, I think where you could probably cast people. So I said, look, okay, I got Jimmy here. He plays pop punk. I know
you casted me.
I've worked with him. I know his voice. I know his style and stuff. I think he would go well if we made a band, around this, and we get him to sing it. Or actually, maybe let's put this guy in and be a singer, or she could be a singer.
Is this revolving around your originals?
That's evolving about. When you asked me if I want to take Perth United to Denmark, so that's around the whole platform, Ambassadors of Rock.
Yep.
Which I've been working for that even before Perth United started. But it's up to a point now, and I've said this before. I've said I was going to release it launch the platform before Telethon, but it looks like it's going to be around the time we're doing the gig on the 2nd now.
Okay.
But that will be the global version of Perth United.
Right.
Where you can go in, you can register your details, you go into a pool of all these to start with, it'll just be Perth musicians, but but you go in and you can then register, and we will then come up with again some crazy concepts for how you're gonna put a song together. But this time, most of the times, it'll be online. So it'll be through a Zoom session, and you record your stems individual and send them around.
Because that's exactly what we were doing through COVID.
That's exactly right. So most people now have adapted to that way of writing.
Exactly right. Gone are the days where you need to wait until next week, next month for rehearsal. To see what our other guitarist or our bass player or drummer came up with. Now, COVID was brilliant. I said to the guys, get an interface, right? Get a couple of cheap drum mics, whatever, use an electric kit. I send it to you, you send it back. I send it to you, you send it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how we do our demos today. And
I can't remember.
It is so easy.
I think I can't remember what the album is called, but I'm pretty sure one of the Linkin Park albums were recorded without them ever being in the same room.
Okay. And I love Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see them at Soundwave.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple of times too, back in Europe. But speaking of what are they going to do? I know they are writing new songs, but that's again big shoes to fill, man.
Ooh. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I reckon Architects are like the new sounding Linkin Park.
But that's cool. But they still are not Linkin Park.
No, so, they're not. But I was talking to a very close friend of mine yesterday, Justin. He loves Architects, and I said, "Can you imagine if they did like a Linkin Park cover?" And he's like, "Dude, yeah, I think they'd smash it." I can just see it.
They've covered Deftones actually, Change in the House of Flies.
No way.
On Spotify. Yeah.
Architects did.
But you have to go on Spotify to hear it though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that is one of my favourite songs. Yeah. I'll be listening to it now.
There we go.
Oh, fantastic.
Add that to my playlist.
Oh, dude, I've been listening to a lot of Polaris as well.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Pretty good.
Good.
Martyr is a beautiful song.
I had tickets to their show, but then, because I'd been out of work for a bit, and then I got my first shift, which was till 4 a.m. that night, doing the election.
Yeah, that's right. You had to sell your tickets, didn't you?
No, I didn't sell them.
You didn't sell them?
No, I couldn't even give them away. I was saying to people, do you want
this guy
free tickets?
What?
Polaris.
What happened? Why couldn't you get rid of him?
Oh, he started a brand new job.
Yeah, and that was after they'd already rescheduled it 3 times and make them suffer. Skipped out on it.
Oh, was that the gig they did with the North Lane? Wasn't that?
No, it wasn't the one with Northland.
I can't remember. But, anyways, going on a tangent. My apologies.
Sidetrack.
Oh, don't you just love when you discover a new band? It's like,
I
I wish I got into these guys earlier. You know.
But that's again the thing about new bands. Think about how many Colourminds there is out there.
Yeah,
it's beyond
a Google
imaginable.
Plex,
you know what I mean?
A plethora.
Yeah. And like there might be, but the good thing about them, there's going to be the vast majority of them are not going to, have the level of production. They're not going to have the level of sort of tenacity of willpower to want to accomplish something. But everybody has the opportunity to put stuff out, whether it's rubbish or not. You know what I mean?
No, exactly right.
Because like you said, everybody can go out and buy a $150 interface and a cheap mic on eBay for $50.
It's very diluted, the market.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cubase audio software, like the DAW, like you can use a 30-day free trial.
You can
Like,
get
right
Reaper.
there.
Like
Yeah,
Reaper. Reaper is phenomenal, man.
Audacity
that's
is free, I think.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you have to pay for, I think, $60-$70 or something for a 2 upgrade license or something.
Yeah, like for anyone that's just starting out.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Like, use it as your little,
It's like when you first pick
center.
up the acoustic guitar, like it's missing a string. It still works.
Yeah, that's before you go out and buy your Helix, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, there's no substitute for having like a top-notch producer who like looks at your stuff and goes, "No, we're going to change this around," and it's like so correct. It blows your mind when you actually hear what you've done.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, the producer's job is to bring out the best in the band.
Yeah, that is true.
but also most of the time also bring the best out in the song. So actually, if you have to take some of it apart, or you have to,
because it's all about marketing the song. But like Tristan's actually right. There was a couple of times Jay really opened my eyes, like with his suggestion for a song. He'd be like, "Oh, try this." I'll do it, and then like he'll play it back to me. I'll be like, "Wow, okay, that actually works. Yeah, that's really good." We've done that a few times now, so
we can.
Yeah, I look forward to sharing it with you, man. Like,
I'm looking forward to hearing it. Like I said, because when I went to the show, man, like I only knew the 2 singles that you guys put out because I haven't seen you guys before. So when I came, I was like, wow, a lot of great songs in there. So I was excited when you said you were recording them.
Did you actually arrive a little bit late?
No, I think I missed the first song.
Yeah.
Because I was driving around for ages to find parking.
Lucky
trying
enough,
to call him out.
Apple Maps again.
that actually works out really well
you go.
because the first song is actually going to be on the EP, so he hasn't heard it yet.
Nah.
There you go.
Nice.
It's a nice little treat.
I know there's a few people out there that know the song that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Because we started writing Fight for My Life with Adam Healy. That's when we started writing it. Like it was, back when Sweet Surrender was still a riff sort of thing. But we've like redone the whole thing now.
Yeah.
It's it's been cleansed of the nylon stroke.
The cleansing is complete.
The inspiration.
I think we did about 7 rewrites on it.
Yeah.
Felt like more than 7.
Oh, man, how good
man.
is that bridge now, though?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
That's what I mean. Like what I was saying earlier, it's just making a lot of, it's not a lot of adjustments, but like just tweaks, just here and there.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. And it just made the song a whole lot better, if I can say.
Yeah,
If it sounds a lot better than I think than what it used to now. I'm playing it live now. It's incredible.
Like you've got an old house. The house is great, but it needs like a rendering, needs
New
a
floors.
new roof, new floors.
New kitchen.
But the foundation's still there. It's
Yeah.
it's still the same underneath, but once you go inside, it's like, oh, okay. I'm
all
discovering
new.
something new. But yeah. Are you actually recording some vocals this weekend?
Yeah, should be on
Yeah.
Sunday.
Jay said he's got me in for guitar this Saturday and Sunday, which is pretty
there's
exciting.
a Saturday?
I am. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
He said he's free for us for Saturday and Sunday, but
Yeah, he only told me Sunday, but
he doesn't want to see you.
He only cares about guitarists.
well, it was just me there after you guys left
Yeah.
the vocals. Yeah.
So you didn't fall asleep on the couch?
Nah. I was busy,
me.
like trying not to choke in the bathroom between songs.
Yeah.
But so at Christmas time, that's when we can
Maybe.
maybe.
I'm not locking anything in. And Jay's probably going to give me a slap around the head if he hears this. So
We're just going to do it properly, and when it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
He's like, don't give an estimated time yet. It takes a while for this to come out. It's art. We're making art. Art takes a while.
Actually, I'm glad that you're going in Saturday because then there's less crammed into Sunday.
yeah.
And we'll be able to get through.
Overall,
Most of the
it's gonna be wicked once it all
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And once we, I'm just so excited to when we get to the point when we share it.
Yeah.
You know,
The thing is,
And
like, there's so much to follow it up with. It's like, you know, you got to plan the releases, you know, because we're drip feeding it, as we said earlier.
Yeah.
So that means, like, you know, like promoting it, marketing it, pitching it, you know, like all the radio stations like that we've been played on. Again, like we've got to send them new stuff now.
Yeah.
We had one guy in America. He sent Too Young to Live and Sweet Surrender to like over 300 different radio stations, and yeah, it's cheap promo. It's good. He works hard for his money, and in the end, we're reaping the benefits.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, it's really cool. On Peter Renzullo, yeah, we've got a book in our next music video as well. We're gonna do a music video for Perfecting Failure, but we're thinking we're doing another one as well, because there's 5 songs. We're like, you know, we haven't decided that yet. I think we will do the other one.
I do want to do the other one.
Yeah, Endless.
Yeah.
Because we haven't actually mentioned the other 2 songs either.
No.
So there's Endless and
Trust,
which
which is super fast.
yeah,
Just when I was writing it, I was thinking like Too Young to Live on steroids.
yeah. So we got 3 punk songs, and we've got 2 like
Alt metal.
proggy alt metal sounding songs, but still with the Colourmind touch, if that makes sense. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So yeah, this will be us like I don't know how to explain it. We're just trying to further our reach a bit. You know, we're just feeling around the room blind, seeing, you know, how far our influences can go. Because I've said to the guys, like, jokingly, you know, like, let's just do like a metalcore single, you know, just for fun. And I think they're actually up for it. So,
I don't see why not. I love metalcore. I love all these genres.
yeah. It'll be really interesting seeing Maddie on the sticks, you know, like,
Double bass.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, yeah, you just gotta, again, as long as it feels right and as long as something
Well,
can
that's it,
relate
yeah.
to, again, like it's your music. You
Maybe
decide.
it's just a niche, you know, like a bit of fun, shits and giggles, whatever.
It's all about creativity at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to put out at the time, you do that, eh?
Yeah.
So all the pop punk fans out there might get a little bit of a surprise.
They will.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
love it.
And you go, hey, there's
Yep.
some grindcore, some
No.
power violence.
Summer bangers.
Not yet. Not yet.
But that is the good thing about Perth, is that like this, it crosses over a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the 9th of December, where we'll be seeing at Amplifier, we've got Rat King supporting King Parrot. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then like night after is
And
Christmas.
yeah, that's I didn't actually realize that. Yeah, we've got this gig where we're just going to watch on the 9th, and then we're playing this Christmas festival down at the Baltimore in Merriwa.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's like 14 bands playing. It's
food
like,
trucks.
God, it's gonna be a late night, man.
Big weekend.
Yeah. So we'll try to stay off the beers on the 9th, all right?
Yeah, right.
Like I'm
Call the
saying
other one,
that
mate.
to you guys. It's like I need to say it to myself more than anything. So
That's why I'm so glad I don't live far now, so it's easy to get home.
hey, what does Travis Barker say? Live fast, die fun.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Live
Yeah.
fast, die
Fun.
Yeah.
fun.
Yep.
You don't worry about the big things, it's just the small things.
Oh,
Oh,
if anyone can say that, it would be Travis Barker. I mean, so crazy to see that he would have been on a plane because he played at the Foo Fighters tribute show in,
He did,
in
yeah.
London. Yeah,
yeah. I
and obviously
saw,
going on
saw
world
some
tour
footage.
now as
Yeah,
well. So
that-
I watched the
that was good.
entire tribute show on Paramount Plus, and that was like a 5.5 hour.
and that was
big.
that was condensed. Like
Yeah.
they edited stuff
Wow.
out.
Yeah,
Really?
It took forever for them to get on that, but they put it out there.
So what? Like, did Travis actually play? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. So he was he played a couple of Foo songs. He played Monkey Wrench and he played Pretender.
oh, okay. So it wasn't
And,
just like just Travis playing for 5.5 hours.
No.
Oh no.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say, man,
it
like,
was
no,
the
yeah.
entire tribute with everyone in it.
Right. So
Yeah.
they had like different musicians.
Yeah.
filling in
It's
spots.
kind of
Yeah,
like when
sick.
they did the Chester Bennington tribute in 2017, and you had like M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold sing
Yeah.
on a cover, and
You had
like,
Blink.
Yeah.
A Day to Remember, Jeremy McKinnon.
Okay. Yeah, sick.
That was like 3.5 hours, I think, too. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I guess
That's
They actually didn't play that many Foo Fighters songs
No.
at the tribute show. They played for just over an hour, I think, an hour and 15 or something.
Yeah,
an hour,
something
an hour
like
and
that.
20.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was I almost enjoyed watching all the other bands play, like all the different musicians that came in and played each other's songs. Like that was so cool.
Yeah,
It
man.
was crazy. Yeah,
It was
good.
absolutely, it's a massive part of music history right there, man.
Fantastic.
So,
Yeah.
but man, hey, look, it might be a good time to wrap it up here as well. Just
Sounds good to me, man.
just before we wrap it up, where should people go and find out, and where can people hear about the new single?
Yeah, look, like Facebook, at the moment, that seems to be our biggest platform, for social media. But if they want to find our singles, Spotify or Apple Music, just look up Colourmind, the Australian spelling, mind you.
Colour with a U.
Australia.
With a U,
Yeah.
people have an issue with.
Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, OnlyFans, Grindr.
Yeah. It works. Yeah.
You do what you got to do for $1, I suppose.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
that's
it's
it.
$15 now for.
It's got a
But, yeah.
premium membership. Yeah.
we are hoping we will have something like one song to release before Christmas, but if not, we do apologise.
not.
These things take time.
Yeah.
But it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it. Worth the wait.
Well, don't promise them that. It might be shit.
That's okay.
Yeah,
So
listen
it's all
and
shit.
prove us wrong.
Yeah, we're still deciding which is going to be the one song we start with. So
Yeah.
We could. Well, let's have another chat when the songs come out, so we can listen. We
Sounds
can
like
make
a
we can
plan,
make
dude.
that verdict
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yep.
Hey,
that
And see how it
actually sounds
man.
really good.
Yeah,
I'd like to review my own songs.
yeah.
I think Maddie actually wanted to do a podcast with us as well. Because you run a podcast series,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you, Maddie?
Give us a shout out for that.
No, yeah, Musicians World. I'm still trying to get like everything up on Spotify. I'm still learning the ropes with that, but I'll get there. But I'm on SoundCloud. If you want to check it out, Musicians World. I've only got 2 episodes, but
Musicians
Musicians World.
World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a bit of a brief one with the last episode talking about that tribute show with Foo Fighters and with Blink and Green Day. I love to get musicians together and just talk about like what they're up to and like how they came about with music and
Brilliant.
But
Hey,
yeah,
you,
getting
you
us
play
on.
music on there as well, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You
So
played
it's
Sweet Surrender.
I did, yeah. The beginning of the last episode, I played our first single that we released and played the new Blink song and an old Fooey song, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And but
That's
yeah,
good. You
hope
should
to
check
get
it
us on
out,
there.
Steph.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wicked, man.
Again, so that's on SoundCloud. Musicians World.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
It might be on Spotify soon. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
going to happen.
Excellent.
We'll
Apple
set you
Music,
up.
hopefully. Podcast
Wicked.
there.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Appreciate it.
Helhammer.
Yeah,
Talk
thanks.
soon.
Boom.
Thanks so much for tuning into the podcast. I hope you enjoyed listening from the boys. Don't forget to check them out at the social medias, profiles and all that. It'll be in the comments. And here's a video that Jimmy did with us as a part of the Taylor Hawkins Foo Fighters tribute band. I hope you will check that out as well. It's fantastic. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And until the next podcast, until the next video, until the next adventure, stay safe. And I will click that subscribe button, by the way.